Welcome back. What's up, guys? It's been about a week. Basically been playing a lot of more fantasy than betting. Obviously we had a couple days of a break and then the playoffs started last weekend. But welcome back. I'll do my best to continue with the content on the Grade A Fantasy channel with my first episode of Grade A Power Plays. We are basically in day 4, day 5 of the playoffs, and it's been some good, good aggressive, hard hitting hockey. And not here to do a review. Obviously, games are already like 2 games in. Series are already 2 games in. Tampa Bay and Florida finally got their game off, so they got a little extra rest and more than other teams. So, hey, it is what it is. Let's get right into it. And as you see by the cover sheet, we're going to be talking about a couple people that kind of made us some money towards the end of the season, and we're going to go right back to it. Now, let's go back recent history. Like I said, these teams, I think, this is their 3rd or 4th time in a row meeting into the playoffs. And most of the time, these series start pretty much the same. We had a 6-5 thriller, Kings over the Oilers. Last year when this happened, we had a 5-4 OT thriller by the Kings. And we had a 5-4, nope, sorry, I got that wrong. We had a 7-4 win by the Oilers, followed up by a 5-4 overtime winner by the Kings. And according to previous matchups as well, we're probably looking at more fireworks, without a doubt. If things stay the pace, the way it's gone from last year to before, yeah, after the first 2 games, maybe 3, that's when both teams kind of like settle down and know what they need to do to kind of slow the other team down. But I think we're going to get 2 high, just like last year and the year before, we're going to get 2 high-paced games in the series. And what does that lead to? Nope, not shot props. We're going to go over the course of this season plus game 1 of the playoffs. First off, the most popular combo, it's still good money, basically 140 plus 140 Byfield Fiala. And I love the way that power play looks, even though they only had 1. Kings defense, they did a great job. Plus, they only committed 2 penalties that game. Normally, when you commit 2, the Oilers are pretty much guaranteed to hit 1. But they have the strategy of meeting up with the Oilers at the blue line. It lessens the time that they spend the time in the zone. Plus, any McDavid Draisaitl combo with the other 3 players and Bouchard, they're getting a minute and 20, a minute 25, a minute 30. The 2 power plays that the Oilers got, I watched that game, and the McDavid PP1 team pretty much stayed for a minute and 30 and then got off. So, but with this team, well, as you can see, Byfield Fiala, with the way they are, these things already, I don't know what the market was game 1, but these are definitely priced down. McDavid and Draisaitl's power play points equal Byfield and Fiala's, point, basically. After that, you get, just regular odds for Kempe. I love Fiala. Fiala's probably my favorite play. It looks great with that 5-4 power play with somebody like Fiala running the point and then rotates left to right. After that, you got the Kopitar, Kuzmenko, both 250. I understand Drew Doughty's there, but Drew Doughty, do not be mistaken, Drew Doughty quarterbacks the second power play. They use, most of the time when you have 5 forward, you're taking off a forward from what you will probably use on power play 2. So normally, or just about 100% of the time, when you have a team that runs 5 forwards, that second power play unit runs 2 defensemen. So you'll have 2 people cycling the top pretty much. So Drew Doughty is the power play quarterback on the second unit. So don't get that. And even though you can't stack these, don't think it correlates with power plays right there. So I do still like, Kempe, Fiala, Kopitar, Kuzmenko. And then, of course, the only power play for, that you'll probably like is Evan Bouchard. But, hey, I don't think you should be worried about the power play. What's interesting is we're here to talk about volume. The volume and the consistency of 3 players. Yes, on the cover sheet is Quinton Byfield and Fiala. So to the right is Laferriere, but we're not talking about Laferriere. We are here to talk about Warren Fogle. And over the course of the year, we have props. It's a shot on goal night for me. It is. Will there be points that I can find? Yes. But I'll be sweating out shots on goal. Yes, it's more dangerous. So I did put this on DraftKings because if this does go to overtime, 5-on-5, it's more comfortable to hit there. Remember, FanDuel, the odds are a bit tougher, and that's why the odds are higher, because they have to do this in 60 minutes. No regular season where it is a quick 5-minute overtime and they might get another shot off. No, 60 minutes in 3 periods. And what I have here, single bets, we got Warren Fogle plus 162 for 3 shots on goal. Quinton Byfield plus 205 for 3 shots on goal. Now, Fiala is like minus 156, so we didn't do that, but we did parlay it. Byfield, Fogle, Fiala. All 3 of them for 3 shots on each. Plus 1,035. Why am I going for this? Now, so what? We can easily see what they did in the playoff. In the playoff, Quinn had 3, Fiala had 6 and 5 misses, Fogle 4 and 1 miss. But over the course of the season against the Oilers, from their first game from, I think it was December 28th, right after the Christmas break, then they had another game in January, if I'm not mistaken, and then 2 games in May before the season ended. Slight asterisk because McDavid, Draisaitl were injured around that time. You still had Quinn Byfield over the course of the season. Those 4 games that they met up, because they're both Western Conference teams, Quinn Byfield's numbers: 5 shots on goal, 2 shots on goal with 2 misses, 4 shots on goal, and then 4 shots on goal. Over the course of the season, Fiala: 1 shot on goal, 4 misses, 4 shots on goal, 3 misses, 4 shots on goal, 2 misses, 8 shots on goal, 3 misses. Fogle: 1 shot on goal, 5 shots on goal with a miss, 2 shots, 3 shots on goal with 4 misses. So, covering yourself, getting some of these guys single. If anything, value-wise, as you can see here, Byfield, and like I said, I took these guys because they were nice plus money. Now, if you really want to get aggressive, because like I said, Byfield has just improved over the years as he has played. I got them all for 3. The only person that I feel absolutely comfortable laddering would be Fiala. So if you get to 4 shots, Fiala's plus 168. If you do a nice little ladder, Fiala gets all the way to plus 375 if he could get 5 shots on goal. If you think Quinn Byfield could get to 4 shots on goal, or if you do a 4 shot on goal parlay with these guys, Fiala starting at plus 168. I mean, you can only imagine what the rest of these odds are going to look like. Fogle's plus 415. You got Quinton Byfield plus 550. All those guys together, if they get 4 shots, it's plus 458 in odds. So 10 will basically give you $745 over 750. It's something that it's worth thinking about, but for the most consistent shooter out of 3, the only person I might ladder would be Fiala. But to go over other stuff, this is the one that really spoke out to me. If I do anything else, I'll probably drop it on another video, but I just want to talk about how consistently these guys generate with the shots missed and everything. They're getting shot attempts, so the Oilers defense is not something that I respect. Does it get slightly better with the possibility of Ekholm coming back? Yeah, sure. But Ekholm is still hurt, so they're still weak at defensemen. So, we're not going to get these guys. We're not going to get any of these guys back. So why not? The shot generation is there. And plus, these are guys that play second and third line, which means at home, the Byfield Fiala line gets the better matchups while they are continuing. And here's the strategy. Yes, not the best matchup most of the time, but if you're there to shut down Connor McDavid, you're getting plenty of ice time to go right back up the ice and get your own opportunities, which is the situation that Warren Fogle's in. Because strategy-wise, they're using the Philip Deneau line as the shutdown line for Connor McDavid, while Draisaitl and the Nugent-Hopkins line sees the Kopitar-Kempe and the Byfield Fiala line. But to make sure it's not, and then you got to go with You just got to go with, what you saw. Sometimes it's not about the stats. You just got to look deeper into the stats. So after game one, the key reason why I'm not totally worried about the 60 minutes, the Kings know that the top three lines, they have three lines that can score. Those three lines took majority of the minutes. The most important stat of this video, line 4 of the LA Kings only added up to 10 minutes and 47 seconds. So basically, besides overtime, well, overtime doesn't count for these shots on goal props. So 49 minutes and 13 seconds goes to the top three lines. That is plenty of time to how fast-paced this team charges against the Oilers. And like I said, it's a bonus if they get a few more penalties, because the Oilers did commit 5 penalties last game. Compare the Oilers' defensive situations to how they looked against how New Jersey looked against Carolina. Put up a great fight. Markstrom played a great game, but the younger, less experienced, less skilled defensemen still made a few penalties, which had another great attempts on shot on goal for Carolina in that last game. And that's where you can get the good comparison at. You're going to get a ton of opportunity, ice time. It is a great opportunity to take some of these shots on goal props. Yes, once again, a lot of people say, hey, take the shot on goal props on DK because they go with overtime. But I see a ton of value here. I took it on DK as well, but I took a ton of value. I don't know. Like I said, the only ladder I feel comfortable with is Fiala at going to 4 and then 5. 156 is okay. If you want to start it at 3, you can, and then go 4 and 5, or you could just start it going 4 and 5 for a mini ladder. Like I said, Fiala has that. He just has the opportunity, and him being the quarterback on the power play as well, because it looks great how he rotates left to right with the options to pass, and then if he gets it on either one of the sides, he's gonna shoot. That's why Fiala's the one that has like the crazy numbers of 4 and 3 misses, 4 and 2 misses, 8 and 3 misses over the course of the season. And then in game 1, he had 6 with 5 misses. So the only person I would ladder would be Fiala. But hey, if you want to get spicy with these guys who consistently score, and yes, I don't mean to leave out Kempe, I really don't. But over the course of the season, yes, it's really these guys that have been consistently putting the puck on the goalie. And with the highest generation consistently throughout the season, it's these 3 guys that I want to focus on for shots on goal. That's all that I have for today. Yes, there's many opportunities. You could possibly get some more Montreal power plays, and maybe you get your Carlson and Chikrin assists or power play points today. You could possibly get that. Yes, of course you can. But yeah, it's just tons of opportunity. There's just tons of opportunity here. And then, if you want, I mean, what's also interesting if you do that with the way they generate, I mean, I know the odds are higher, but what would it be before I mean, I'm only talking about one type of prop, but just wanted to make sure I get all the stats in there. Okay, so if I was able to do Fiala at 148, these guys should be able to get all 3 shots too consistently. And what are the odds if I put these 4 for shots on goal? So there goes Fogle, and there goes Byfield. So plus over 1,800 if you also add somebody like Kempe for 3 shots on goal, because it's plus 1,035. So that's also an interesting way to go about it. Not really asking anybody to go overboard with 4 or 5, but these are all people that are the top shooters on the team right now that get the most shot attempts. So it's something interesting to play around with. But yeah, thank you very much. If anything, I might come back with another video with some point props. But this is my favorite. These are my favorite props for today. On top of taking a couple of singles, that's my favorite props. And obviously Byfield Fiala, but that parlay is something that will be interesting to sweat out over the course of 60 minutes. Thank you once again for tuning in. This is your boy Grade A Fantasy on the Grade A Fantasy channel with his first, and definitely not his last, Grade A Power Plays Playoff Edition. I will see you all again soon.